Hello and welcome to what I think is our 20th attempt at this point. It's been a bit of a struggle. We had a terrible ending, but I thought, hey, that's easy. I'll just reload an earlier save, clean some things up, and it'll be great. It was not. I missed something. Some sort of mistake was made. Fine, try again, and again, and then one more time. Hey, this will be it. Lucky number 7. That'll be. No, it wasn't lucky number 7. Or 8 or 9. Well, then, how about lucky number 13, eh? That's kind of funny because people think it's an unlucky number and we're in a hotel. They often don't have a 13th floor. So that would be kind of funny that it's the 13th attempt is the one. It was not the one. Nor was the 14th or 15th. So I think we're 20 or above it. By the way, he's still dead, don't worry. I think we're like 20 above or something. And this, we're gonna get a good ending. We're gonna get an extra good ending, and I'll explain eventually. This will also be a rambling mess. As I said, I've tried this so many times. Let's lose the light. That I'm starting to lose track of what I've told you and what I haven't told you, because the things that I'm telling you now, I've already told you in a past attempt. So I might miss some things. I might say things twice. I'll find out in the editing. So what we wanted was to have an ending where Anne and Marcella do not go to prison. And in order to achieve that, we have to get rid of things that show their relationship. We also don't want the ending where Paul goes to prison. And in order to achieve that, we have to get rid of everything that mentioned him being at the psychiatric hospital. I eventually managed to do that after a couple of tries. But the best I could do was Anne, Marcella, Paul don't go to prison. But Sophie would always go to prison accused of tampering with the evidence. And I could not. Because, see, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for a good ending. Or rather, I'm a sucker for a happy ending. It doesn't have to be well written. You can Deus Ex Machina all over the place. If the people live happily ever after, I'm happy. I'm simple like that. So what I wanted was Anne, Marcella, Paul, and Sophie
Might need
don't
this to
go
restore
to
power.
prison. And I could not make that happen. I tried all sorts of combinations
Stupid.
of leaving
This'll need
things, not leaving
something
things.
pointier.
I tried looking up on the internet. My friend Kiwi, who knows more about not only the game because she's seen it and she just knows more things in general, also could not help me find a way. And I think that is the thing, that you cannot have all of those things happen. If maybe someone has found a way, I could not find it. So, what we are going to do is we're going to be little rascals and use the Deus Ex Machina technique of sneaky video editing. Because
These look like
what I want,
Marcella's pearls.
I want
What happened here?
Marcella and
A, B,
Paul not go to
and
prison.
Beaumont. Okay.
What will
This
happen
looks like
is
something I can use to open
Sophie
the fuse box.
will go to prison. What we're going to do then is when that happens, we'll edit out that scene and we'll put in the scene where she lives happily ever after with Beth in their
Poor
new bar.
Paul.
Huh?
So Paul just needed to pass the time while
Now,
Marcella
I want to
was
make
at
it clear.
9:45.
This is not me
So,
going, oh,
looks
the
like
writers
Paul had to
messed up.
stop
Let
writing
me
in a
fix their
hurry.
poor. No, they
What
didn't.
happened?
They did an excellent job.
I was
It
listening
makes
to the radio
sense,
at
and
the time.
it's
Did
a
the
good
music drown out the noise?
it's a good story thing of they don't go to prison because of our actions, but our actions leads us to. So it makes sense. I see it, but I really tried to get that everyone lives happily ever after ending. apart from, you know, the dead guy. But I could not make it happen, which is why we're gonna be a bit cheeky and make it happen. But again, that's not me going, hey, let me fix your writing. Your writing was excellent. I've had a really good time. It's been a
Big. I guess only that worked.
it's been a
Thank
really
God.
nerve-wracking. It turns out
Now,
giant monsters like
you
roaring in your
can-
face.
What I would. How did this
That's
end
fine.
up
That's
here? much
not
use
too
without
scary.
the rest of the
Having
code.
people potentially catch you snooping through their stuff.
Those numbers
That's
I
fucking
found in the
terrifying,
laundry
man.
room.
So good
Could they
work
be
on
part
that.
of the same combination?
Now let me live out my dreams of a too happy of an ending. I think it's 2243.
Damn it.
Then it is 20, 42. I've done this a few times. Yeah, it's not a sort of, no, let me fix what you messed up. It's me Deus Ex Machina and brute forcing a happy ending for myself after all the attempts that
Bodies
we've
of
done.
A woman and 3 children.
So we get that.
3 children.
I will also say, when Sophie goes to jail, there is, you know, you see that image of her in prison, and of course it's sad. But after that, there is an image of her coming out of prison and hugging Beth, who waited for us, and that's really nice. I like that. That was really nice of you. I appreciate that it doesn't end in a like, oh, we're rotting in jail forever sort of thing. So, again, what have I told you this time that I was supposed to, that I didn't tell you, that I have told? It's a complicated mess. I did a couple of attempts at just cleaning up all of the things, and they would still find out about Anne and Marcella, and I was like, what am I missing? There is something I'm missing, and I could not, for the life of me, figure it out. So then I went, okay, we'll just clean everything. Everything will be spotless. There'll be no evidence that people even existed here. Then it'll be fine, right? Now, you can't do that after you've found the corpse, because for understandable reasons, Sophie's not all that keen on cleaning the place when there's a dead body. So you can't, for example, well, things in here are clean, so I can't show. But she's like, there's more pressing matters, and it's true. There is a corpse in the elevator. There are more pressing matters. So I had to go back to an even earlier save before we find the corpse, and just every single surface, all because I didn't know, maybe there was something in a waste paper basket that that the detective used. I didn't know. So I went back and I did everything. Cleaned all of the things. I took away all of the letters everywhere. And the detective still found out about Anne and Marcella. And I was like, how? There's nothing. How did you find out about... Fine. I'll try it again. And going through all the things, I noticed in this room. Right here. Something that I had not noticed during our entire playthrough. We'd spent hours on this floor. I've spent even more hours here than you've seen. And I had not noticed the giant, bright white mugs. They're standing here, just 2 of them, with lipstick prints on them. Now, one of the lipsticks was Marcella's, and we could recognize that because of the color, because we had noticed and talked about the fancy one that we found in her room earlier. You know, the one that was all like pearlescent. I had left that behind. I had not noticed that at all. I don't know how many times I've been in this room. I had not noticed the giant cups. And of course, I think that is what the detective then which that just proves that like they drink out of mugs. Like what? But that was enough. I think that was one of the things that the detective picked up on. So I got rid of the mugs, and one thing that happens is I had the mugs on me, and then I do this thing where we look at the notes and we talk to Beth, and we hear the elevator. So we go out here, and I don't think I noticed the first time. I can't, again, it's all a blur, so I don't know if I can remember. But when after this murder has happened, you are stuck walking in the specific line, and the camera can't really move a lot, just like how it was in the beginning, where we were in the police station when we started out. And I had the mugs on me, and I wasn't sure. Hey, does that matter? Like, can they use the things on me for something? I don't know. Maybe I need to get rid of the mugs. So I had to, like, finagle a spot where I was able to, like, it wasn't as easy as this makes it out because we were stuck in a specific angle and looking. But I managed to like find a little corner of this so I could put
There are
away
more
the mugs,
pressing matters right now,
and we
Sophie.
were all good. But one of the attempts where I had cleaned out everything, I then didn't play it for a couple of days, like over the weekend. And then when I came back recording and ending, I was like, this is fine. Because I know that this save has cleaned out everything. Everything, even the rooms that are not involved, they're spotless. Everything is fine. Went, chatted with the detective, and he found out about Marcella and Anne. And he found out about us snooping. I was like, how? I have cleaned everything. Everything is gone. Everything is gone. I have cleaned I had left all of this out. Like, these are not like, a little, these are like the main, the main items. I had forgotten about all of these. So also, again, Kiwi not only helped me because she knows more about the game and different things, and she also helped me about, like, we had left this with the. She also helped me with the puzzle. Remember how we did the puzzle, just the puzzle on the typewriter case? We did that by just, because we had half of it, we just kept turning until we got it right. Because I didn't realize what the puzzle, how to solve the puzzle. If we had looked through more stuff, for example, down in the basement where all the lockers were, we would have found out more about the white cat. Remember how Beth talked about that at the ending? But we didn't go snooping because I don't want to get in trouble for snooping, and I certainly don't want to be snooping through Beth's stuff and have her come in and go, like, what the hell, Sophie? That would be terrible. That would be awful for our relationship. But had we done that, we would have found out more about the white cat. And it would have been, I probably wouldn't have realized it, but it would have been useful for someone who is better at puzzles for this part. Unlike my favorite bar, this one was black. The favorite bar being the white cat. So, unlike the favorite bar, that will make it a black cat. Here is the color of a black cat with the name Greta. GR to go with the puzzle to open. We just spun them until it opened. We just brute forced that. Don't worry, it's fine. Now let me see. What have I told you? What have we done? What have we not done? Did we? Again, I've done this so many times that it's all like a massive blur of. Okay, yeah, we've done this one. So, did I talk about? I'm gonna find this out in editing if I have to, because even this, like this part, all of this, doing this attempt, I've done several times today to try and get this right. We are going to make our own ending. We're going to make the ending where Anne and Marcella do not go to prison. Paul does not go to prison. And Sophie does not go to prison. And we're going to make that ending by stitching together it in post, actually. And as I may have said, I don't know, maybe I said it the last time I tried this. That is not me going, hey, writers, you messed up. You've done an excellent job. That is not, this is not an attempt to undermine your work. This is me going, I tried to get the happy ever after ending for everyone over and over and over again, and I failed. So now I'm gonna just make it happen. And what we need to do is get rid of everything that mentions any sort of hint about Paul, medication, and his being in psychiatric hospital. I don't know which things count, but I know we can take all of these things and they will not find out about Paul. I also got rid of the letter showing that Marcella took out all that money, because maybe that'll be a thing that they'll connect. I got rid of the thing that mentioned the data breach, because maybe they'll find out about Paul. Don't know. Got rid of all of these mentions. I got rid of his medication, 'cause maybe, pretty sure those were just sleep meds, but again, I don't know. Maybe that'll count. So one of the times, because you have to like close the safes and stuff. One time I came in here, this door was closed, but the safe was open, like clipping through, and I could not open this, and I could not open the safe. So that time, that was not my fault. But everything else, it was my fault many times. So
Getting the fuse box open was half the battle. Now I need to take a look inside and fix what needs fixing.
we almost missed the thing. This is the wrong room. See how we have 2 keys? Put the key back. Put the key back. There we go. Again, I'm a rambling mess at this point. I've done this so many times. It's all just a blur of what have I mentioned to you and what have I not. For example, have I mentioned that one of the things that gets us caught is stepping in this blood? On this attempt that I'm recording right now, have I mentioned how I was confused about the detective mentioning size 7? Because I'm used to EU sizes, which are in the 30s and 40s, so the notion of an adult having size 7 shoes did not occur to me. Have I mentioned that? I don't know at this point. Am I all roundabout and don't know my head from my ass? Yes. But that's usually how things go. That has nothing to do with this particular gaming experience. So yes, this is the room where we start. You imagine it with lighting and, less scary music. And we mention things like, oh, you brought your own mugs. Yeah, I can understand that. This is a lot nicer than what we have. Something, for example, that I didn't realize when we found these letters the first time. I was like, why is it everyone else's problem, like in the neighborhood, that he has debt? What does that... I didn't realize that he had not... These were not letters from, like, a legitimate business. These were people going, hey, we'll make trouble for all of you if you don't make sure that this dude gives us our money. Right? That did not occur to me. I was like, in editing, I was like, oh, I see. That's the people he's been borrowing money from. Yes, that makes sense now. Why they might be a bit more hostile towards anyone and everyone. Okay, let's have a rundown of everything. It would appear that leaving these do not matter. I tried removing them, and Sophie does still get caught for tampering. I cleaned all of the rooms, apart from the times that I missed a bunch of stuff, the really, really obvious stuff that I shouldn't have missed. But yeah, it seems like we cannot have Anne, Marcella, and Paul. Like this, I also cleaned this. It did not matter. It seems like we can't get Anne, Marcella, and Paul get their happy ending while also getting not in prison. We still, again, we still get the nice ending of, the. I don't know if it probably doesn't count as bittersweet, but we do still, eventually get out of jail, and Beth is there waiting for us, and that was really nice, and I appreciate that. That was nice of you. But because I have tried so many times to have Anne, Marcella, Paul, and Sophie not go to prison, that is why we are going to create our own. And I thought also it would just be like a funny moment for us to have our own ending that we stitched together of us not going to prison. It's not that I'm fixing any writing things. This was excellent. I really enjoyed. I enjoyed, but also it was fucking nerve-wracking in this game. This was so much scarier than like in if you make a follow-up, could you give Sophie a gun? Or hey, how about this? Don't give her a gun, because that's where are you gonna hide that? Like we can't. If I guess we don't work as a maid if we are in the bar, but it's gonna be difficult to hide a gun. Give her like a garrote wire, so if anyone goes, "Hey, I caught you snooping. I'm gonna go tell someone," you can run up behind them and just like silence them. That will make it less scary. So, I'm just saying, if if you need some really like poor writing input, I gotcha. But yeah, it's not a let's like change the writing. You all did an excellent job. But I really tried to get the everyone everyone gets away from not having to go to prison ending, so we're gonna just stitch together our own ending. Just as a fun thing for us. And mostly for me. So, oh, another thing. Even though we picked up 3 fuses, you can actually put the like fuse G into all of these. But let's not. Let's. We spent enough time on this floor that let's. Also, I know in editing I'm gonna be like, oh, I forgot to tell you about this one thing, and that's gonna be annoying